What if the most powerful force within you is also the most misunderstood? What if unlocking it could change your entire life? And in the next few minutes, you'll discover how to tap into a primal energy that ancient mystics and modern masters have secretly wielded for centuries. Plus, I'll reveal the forbidden technique that can transmute your rawest desires into pure spiritual power. We've all felt it. That undeniable surge of energy. That deep, instinctual drive. It's the lifeblood of creation, pulsating through every living thing. But for most of us, it's a wild horse. Untamed, uncontrolled. We either suppress it, fear it, or chase fleeting pleasures with it. We've been taught it's something to be ashamed of, something dirty. But what if that's the biggest lie of all? What if this raw energy is actually the key to unlocking your highest potential? The ancient traditions understood this. They saw it not as a curse, but as a sacred gift, a divine spark. They knew that by understanding and redirecting this energy, you could achieve incredible feats. You could heal yourself. You could manifest your dreams. You could even touch the divine. This energy, this vital force, has many names. In the East, it's often called Kundalini. Ancient yogis described it as a coiled serpent at the base of the spine. They believed that when awakened, it would rise through the chakras, the energy centers of the body. This ascent purifies the mind and body. It unlocks higher consciousness. It's the ultimate spiritual alchemy. But this isn't just some dusty old philosophy. This knowledge is alive, it's practical, it's waiting for you to reclaim it. Think about it. Every great artist, every visionary, every person who has achieved something extraordinary has tapped into this deep wellspring of power. It's the fire that fuels passion. It's the drive that pushes boundaries. Let's go back to the beginning, ancient Egypt. The pharaohs and priests understood the power of this life force. They depicted it in their hieroglyphs. They built temples aligned with cosmic energies. They believed the human body was a vessel, a temple for this divine energy. They practiced rituals designed to harness and elevate it. They understood that the physical and the spiritual were deeply connected. They didn't see sex as mere procreation. They saw it as a sacred act, a way to connect with the divine, a potent source of energy that could be refined. Picture this. It's the year 1957. In a quiet laboratory in New York City, a researcher named Dr. Evelyn Reed is studying ancient Sanskrit texts. She's looking for clues about forgotten healing practices. She stumbles upon descriptions of a practice called brahmacharya. It wasn't about celibacy, as many assume. It was about conserving and redirecting vital sexual energy. She found references to yogis who could perform incredible feats of physical endurance and mental clarity. They attributed it all to this energy management. She was skeptical at first. But the texts were so detailed, so consistent, they spoke of a transformation, a spiritual awakening. Stop. Think about this. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with sexual imagery. It's everywhere, on billboards, on our screens. It's designed to drain our energy, to keep us distracted, to keep us consuming. They want you hooked. They don't want you to know that this energy is yours to control, that it's your greatest asset. This information was almost lost, hidden in plain sight within ancient wisdom. But that's not even the strangest part. This energy isn't just some vague concept. It has a physical basis. Modern science is starting to catch up. Neuroscientists have discovered how our brain chemistry changes when we experience profound spiritual states. They've observed increased activity in the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of the brain responsible for higher reasoning and consciousness. They're also finding links to the vagus nerve. It connects the brain to the gut. It plays a huge role in our emotional state. This primal energy directly influences these systems. Remember this detail, it'll be important later. the ancient texts describe specific nadis. These are energy channels within the body. The most important one, Sushumna, runs up the spine. It's believed to be the pathway for Kundalini. It's like a central highway for your life force. The other nadis, Ida and Pingala, are like side roads. They carry different types of energy. One is more cooling, the other more heating. Sexual energy is a powerful combination of these. It's the fusion of masculine and feminine energies within you. Let's talk about a documented case. In 1971, in a monastery in Nepal, a Tibetan monk named Lobsang Rampa claimed to have mastered these techniques. He wrote several books detailing his spiritual journey. He spoke extensively about the vital life force and how it could be cultivated. He described a specific breathing technique that involved drawing energy up from the base of the spine. He said it felt like a warm current. He claimed that by practicing this daily, he could levitate small objects. He also described experiencing profound states of bliss and clarity. He said his senses became incredibly sharp. He could hear distant sounds. He could see subtle energy fields. He attributed all of this to the controlled release and redirection of his sexual energy. This changes everything you thought you knew about your own body. You've probably felt it. That tingling sensation. That warmth that spreads through you at certain moments. That's your energy shifting. Your body already knows this. It's trying to communicate with you. But are you listening? Most people have no idea that this powerful force resides within them. They mistake it for mere lust or desire. They don't realize it's the raw material for creation itself. The conspiracy element? Think about it. Why would organized religions and governments want to downplay or demonize sexual energy? Because a person who controls their own primal power is a person who is hard to control. They become independent. They become aware. They can't be easily manipulated. This knowledge is a threat to systems built on control. It's the truth they don't want you to know. Leaked documents from some declassified government programs, like MK Ultra, hint at attempts to understand and weaponize human consciousness and energy. They were looking for ways to influence minds. They were looking for power. But they were looking in all the wrong places. The real power was always within us. Now let's dive deeper. Scientists accidentally discovered something fascinating in the 1980s. While studying brainwaves, they noticed that certain meditative practices could synchronize brain activity. This synchronization, called neural coherence, was linked to feelings of deep peace and connection. They found that practices involving focused breathing and visualization, very similar to ancient yogic techniques, could induce this state. It was like their brains were singing in harmony. This state is incredibly conducive to spiritual growth. And guess what fuels it? You guessed it. The very energy we're talking about. Imagine you're standing at the foot of a majestic mountain. The air is crisp. The sun is just beginning to rise. You see a narrow path winding upwards. This path represents your spiritual journey. The energy we're discussing is the fuel for that journey. Without it, you can't climb. You can't reach the summit. You can't see the view from the top. This energy is your inner engine. It's what propels you forward. Let's look at another case. Sarah, a woman living in Portland, Oregon, in the early 2000s, was struggling with chronic fatigue. Doctors couldn't find anything wrong. She felt drained all the time. In 2005, she started practicing Qigong, an ancient Chinese energy cultivation art. She followed a specific routine designed to circulate vital energy, or Qi. Her teacher emphasized the importance of cultivating sexual energy and channeling it upwards. Within 6 months, her fatigue vanished. She reported feeling more vibrant than ever. She said her creativity soared. She even started a successful business. She described the energy as a warm, flowing river inside her. It felt nourishing. It felt alive. This is where it gets really interesting. Have you ever noticed how artists, musicians, and writers often have a certain intensity about them? A creative fire? That's often the result of them unknowingly or knowingly transmuting this sexual energy. It's the passion behind their work, it's the driving force that makes them create. It's hidden in plain sight. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This energy is the source of all creativity, all innovation, all life. If you're still watching, you're probably sensing something deeper. A recognition. A pull. You're not crazy for thinking there's more to life than what we're told. This primal energy is the bridge. It connects your physical body to your spiritual essence. It's the divine spark within. Ancient civilizations knew this. They built their entire spiritual systems around it. They understood that controlling this energy was the path to enlightenment. They left us clues in their art, their architecture, their myths. Here's the third story. It's about a man named David who lived in Chicago, Illinois. In 1992, David was a successful businessman. But he felt empty. He was searching for meaning. He discovered the teachings of a Sufi master. Sufism is a mystical branch of Islam. The Sufis have ancient practices for cultivating spiritual energy. David learned a technique called dhikr, which involves rhythmic chanting and breathing. He was taught to focus his intention during these practices. He began to feel a powerful energy rising within him. He described it as a feeling of divine love. He said it was intensely pleasurable, but not in a physical way. It was a spiritual ecstasy. He reported experiencing profound insights. He felt connected to everything. He said his sexual desires didn't disappear, but they transformed. They became less compulsive, more integrated. His life took on a new depth and purpose. He became a healer, helping others find their own spiritual path. This is the ultimate spiritual alchemy. Transmuting the base metal of raw desire into the pure gold of spiritual power. It's not about repression, it's about transformation. It's about refinement. It's about understanding the sacredness of your own life force. Your body already knows this, it's wired for this. You just need to learn the language. You need to unlock the code. So how do you do it? How do you start transmuting this energy? It's simpler than you think. It requires intention, awareness, and practice. Here are 3 practical steps. Step 1. Conscious awareness. Start paying attention to your energy. When you feel a surge of desire or passion, don't just react. Pause. Notice where you feel it in your body. Is it in your chest, your gut, your lower abdomen? Simply observe it without judgment. You are the observer, you are not the desire itself. This is the first step in detaching from compulsive behavior. It's about seeing the energy for what it is. Pure life force. Step 2. Focused breathing. This is key. When you feel that energy, practice deep, slow breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose, filling your belly. As you exhale, imagine drawing the energy upwards. Visualize it moving up your spine. You can visualize a gentle light or a warm current. Focus your intention on this upward movement. Don't force it. Be gentle. This is like guiding a gentle stream. You're not damming it up. You're redirecting its flow. This breathing technique is hidden in plain sight in many ancient traditions. Step 3. Visualization and intention. As the energy rises, visualize it reaching your heart center or your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. Imagine it transforming into pure love, wisdom, or creative energy. Set a clear intention for what you want to use this energy for. Do you want to heal? To create? To connect with the divine? Your intention is the rudder that steers the ship. This is the forbidden technique. It's simple, but its power is immense. Most people have no idea they can do this. This changes everything. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll start noticing this energy everywhere. In nature, in other people. You'll understand the subtle currents that shape our reality. You'll realize that your own creative power is limitless. The veil is lifting. You're awakening to your true potential. This knowledge was meant to stay hidden, but now it's being revealed. Remember that ancient civilizations knew this. They built entire societies around these principles. They understood that mastering this inner energy was the path to true power and fulfillment. They didn't suppress desire. They refined it. They transformed it. They elevated it. They understood that this energy was sacred. It was divine. So what happens when you start practicing this consistently? You'll notice a shift. Your focus will sharpen. Your creativity will bloom. You'll feel more alive, more connected. Your relationships will deepen. You'll attract more of what you desire. You'll become a master of your own energy. You'll become a creator of your own reality. Think about the implications. If every person could tap into and transmute this energy, what kind of world would we live in? A world of greater creativity, greater compassion, greater understanding. It starts with you. It starts with reclaiming your own power. This is the truth they don't want you to know. Because a conscious, empowered population is a population that cannot be easily controlled. Have you ever felt a deep, intuitive knowing? A sense that there's a hidden pattern to life? That's your inner wisdom recognizing this energy. It's your body already knowing this truth. You're not alone in this quest. Countless souls throughout history have sought this knowledge. They endured hardships. They traveled to remote corners of the earth. But the power was always within you. Waiting. This is the point where most people get stuck. They hear about it, but they don't do it. They get scared. Or they think it's too difficult. But remember David, remember Sarah. Remember the ancient masters. They weren't superhuman. They were simply people who chose to understand and cultivate their own inner power. They chose to transmute. If you're still watching, you're probably sensing something deeper. A resonance, a truth that echoes within you. You're ready to take the next step. You're ready to awaken your full potential. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about becoming who you were meant to be, a powerful, conscious creator. So what's the profound implication here? That the very energy we've been taught to suppress or fear is actually our greatest source of power and spiritual growth. It's the divine spark within us, waiting to be ignited. It's the key to unlocking our highest potential. It's the most potent tool for transformation available to us. Now I have a question for you. What is one area of your life where you feel a lack of energy or passion? Where could you consciously apply these steps to begin transmuting your vital force? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear your insights. And if you think that's incredible, wait until you hear about how specific sound frequencies can accelerate this entire process. That's coming up next. But before you go, consider this. If controlling sexual energy is the key to spiritual power, what happens when that energy is intentionally disrupted or corrupted on a mass scale? What ancient forces might be at play, trying to keep humanity in a state of energetic imbalance? The answer might shock you.